What's up, guys? Another day, another live. Let me wait for you guys to join me in the room, the virtual room. Got a few questions this evening. I saw some news that Vibes Cartel is in the country. So I was like, I was gonna do this live tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna do it this evening. I don't figure too many of you are awake right now, but nonetheless, when you wake up in the morning, I'm hoping you'll see this, and I hope you come in the comments to share some of your thoughts with me. So Vibes Cartel has now arrived in Guyana. I saw the post on Gordon Mosley's page, and I just had a few questions with regard. Looks like my connection over the last few days. Hey, good night, David. How are you? Good night, Kelly. We're talking about vibes, recent vibes, new vibes, different developments. This, the boys in the lockups charged with terrorism. We're gonna talk about Vibes Cartel. We can talk about the terrorists. A couple updates on the Justice for Adriana movement. I think we are all part of a movement of people calling for justice. Good night, Mark, Kenise. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Hey, Trevor, Tabisha, good evening. Tony, what's up, bro? Fariza, hey, love. Good afternoon, good night. Well, whenever you're watching this, good morning. All right, so let's jump into the old discussion here. Good night, guys. How you doing? Justice for Adriana Young. I love to see that. I love to see that in every comment. You notice there's nothing the dictatorship will post right now that somebody is not in the comments saying justice for Adriana Young. You could have just picked a mango and tried to post your PR opportunity with your mango. Justice for Adriana Young. Somebody there in your comments letting you know. You could be like, look, I just found a golden hair in my armpit. We don't care. Justice for Adriana Young. Right? That's all we want right now. So, good night, guys. Good night. Thanks for joining me. Sometimes I jump into these discussions a bit quickly, so I'm trying to wait. This, I've got a light next to me, generates a reasonable amount of heat. So, if you see me using my tissue to wipe my top lip, don't be worried. Good evening. Justice, and we will get it. We will get it if we keep this story alive, if we keep calling her name, if we keep reminding them that we're not stupid. We can't be gaslit so easily and manipulated. And we saw what we saw. We know what we know. Okay? And justice has not yet been delivered. Now, I don't know what's up with I don't know how many of you are in the room right now. It's probably going to update the stats soon enough. But let me jump in. Good night. I see more people coming in. You can share the live. Maybe I'll wait another minute, chat with you guys for a bit, strum a little. And then jump into the old discussion. Good night, Dane. Greetings to you guys in New York. I see more of you joining still, so I'm just giving it a minute before I jump into the Hey, Travis. Okay, so you just basically got me right there with, I don't know how y'all speak some of these names. Douglas Snessy. Love the creativity of your name there. That's what I want to talk about. All right, so I think there's enough people in the room right now. I don't want to waste your guys' time. It's already late. So let's get into the discussion I want to have with you this evening. So we'd all know by now, most of us, that Vibes Cartel in the country for a show on Saturday, right? So I find that very interesting. And to pick up on Douglas Nacy's comment, and when I reshared Gordon Mosley's post, I had the very same comment. You mean to tell us that it's almost a month since Adriana Young was murdered, and her parents have been calling on the government to bring the FBI or Scotland Yard, international bodies that could help us get justice, help us investigate this case. Now, why would they want assistance, foreign assistance, with investigating this case? Because when their daughter disappeared, the police were part and parcel of the people. Because most of you, I see a lot of you guys focusing on delivering the government's counter narrative, because it seems like the government are very desperate for us to put this case away, done and dusted, and we all go back to regular programming. They're desperate, right? So people are even being sent to disrupt the narrative, right? And for those of you continuing to argue that she was in the pool all along, like, it doesn't matter to you guys that it was a swimming class, that it was paused, that the pool was combed by that guy, that other people got in the pool, that it was searched multiple times, and there was nobody in that pool, right? In 8 foot of water. We would have definitely seen the person, but for you to say it was murky. People combed the pool. She was not in the pool. You absolutely cannot change the narrative back to she was in the pool all along. She was simply not in the pool. You're going to attack people for saying that, right? So the reason that the family need the FBI to come in, that they keep requesting this, is because not only was a police officer found near to the body with unexplained wet feet, Officer Wet Foot, Leroy Smith, couldn't explain his wet jeans. He was suspiciously close to a room that caught on fire, right? There were multiple fires that seemed to have been set in a hotel that was almost exclusively occupied by police. Very strange, right? And the same police told the family that their daughter had been abducted. The police were part of the problem. So people stopped trusting the police, right? They tried to blame this footage. Though they're charging people for public mischief, right? That was the highest public mischief, to tell someone their daughter was abducted, even though the people said that's not my daughter. Remember when Adriana's mom was lying down on the road and the officer was there trying to show her some footage on his phone, trying to tell them that was their daughter? They tried everything. All these public officials, government officials, calling these people, trying to get them to move from that hotel. God knows where we would have been today if those people didn't stay. Right? Call people scrapes and hooligans. The ones that were peacefully protesting, the ones that went and thief and rob, those are hooligans. But y'all cast peaceful protesters as hooligans. But those people stayed outside. I was one of the people. Stood outside there waiting. Didn't rush the door. Break down the place to go and search, comb that entire hotel for that girl. We trusted the police. That's the last moment in my life I remember the public having some trust in the police force. We trusted the police, the ones that were there guarding the door of that hotel as that little girl was inside. The police held us back, and she was in there, and she died. She was killed by the morning, and her body was dumped in the pool. We trusted you guys. That's why her family would like the FBI to come. And they've been waiting weeks. FBI can't come. They want a second opinion from a pathologist from Trinidad, Dr. Daisley. I'll remind you, Dr. Daisley has already come here and done fantastic work. And reminded you the other day about the case in 2015 where the truck driver killed his wife, he strangled her to death, and then took her and threw her body out the truck and crushed her head with his truck. And the local pathologist, Nihal Singh, concluded that it was injuries from a crushed skull because of the truck. The man was released on $10,000 bail because he was drunk driving. And Dr. Daisley, the same person that this family requested from the beginning, but they were giving Dr. Collins, who the government saying, yeah, they chose that person. They asked for Dr. Daisley from the beginning. Dr. Daisley came here and he showed that Nihal Singh's conclusion was incorrect. He found that there was strangulation. This woman was strangled and they tried to stage her death. And this man that had gotten off on $10,000 bail was actually a murderer. I don't remember the government trying to block that man from coming in and giving a second opinion on the death of that woman. Why are they blocking him and trying to delay him in coming in and giving a second opinion on Adriana Young? For those of you that say, people are saying, the president already spent enough time on this, the state spent enough money. What's the value of your child? You have a price tag on your kid that you write on it. You know, okay, well, if the government spent a $2 million, $3 million behind my kid, that's enough. Let's just put the story to bed. What's the value on your kid? And why do you find it so difficult to be empathetic and feel for others? That's a question some of you need to be asking yourself. You're saying the state has already done enough. They've done very little. Up to a couple of weeks ago, the police didn't even know what they were really investigating. Right? The people opposite the hotel, I'm told that they were threatened and they moved out of their house. The house that had the cameras across the road, the blue house. I hear those people were threatened and they moved out of their house for a while. Right? Heard that? The same hotel, he's saying that these officers and the staff of that hotel had the people saying that they had nothing to do with the fire. How a burning building burned 2 times, right? And how is it after a month, close to a month, a few days shy, 2 days shy of a month of waiting for the FBI to come, for the government to even, because remember the US ambassador said no formal requests have been made. Even though the president's saying they're going to leave no stone unturned. They will do everything but what the family of this girl would like. No requests made. But y'all could bring Vibes Cartel. Y'all could be real. Vibes Cartel could reach here. You lock up Baby Skello for singing but Mother Lakshmi for singing an offensive song to Hindus. And you go and bring a man that you ERC then call out for singing, but Jesus, something, some lyric that was offensive to Christians. You go and import a man. At a time like this, where the money come from for Vibes if we can't find money for the FBI and other investors? You could only bring one retiree. That don't make sense. Right? I don't know if the government hoping to get some votes off of Vibes Cartel coming here. But let me tell you a couple reasons there is absolutely no way. Right? There's absolutely no way. I'm giving you a couple of reasons that I am going to any Vibes Cartel show. First reason, y'all ain't bring no FBI, you ain't bring no Scotland Yard, y'all delay the second autopsy. If you did a job, you watching this, about to type your troll comment, not the rest of you, the trolls, right? If you did a good job and someone said, I would like to second opinion on the good job you think you did, would you not be open to it? What about the people that refuse? You ask them to, I want a second opinion on this thing here, and they do everything in their power to try and deny you that opportunity. Would you not be suspicious? Naturally suspicious? If you did a good job, there's no problem if someone else checks it out. This government are behaving like the 3 doctors they chose are the only experts in the world. All the supporters are coming out as if these are the only experts in the world, these eminent pathologists, right? Like I said, run a background check on those guys. Even the family doctor was crooked and corrupt, came out lying. He's been exposed as a fraudster, right? And he turned around. When I exposed him as a liar, he turned around to call me a crackhead and a junkie. That guy should be dismissed, right? He came and he lied about Adriana Young, the family doctor. They told us she was bloated. They told us the body was in an advanced state of decomposition. The state came and told us that. They lied. They lied, and that's why they couldn't determine cause of death, which means they could determine cause of death because the body is not in an advanced state of decomposition. And that first autopsy should be annulled because there were too many lies. There was too much dishonesty. But some of you act as if those were the 3 most eminent people in the world. Other doctors and pathologists, forensic pathologists, if you've been following Dexter Todd, other people have come to the fore and discredited some of those guys. Right? I saw one yesterday with they were featuring Dr. Caleb, a piece of his video, and I think it was Pastor London, and there was a doctor down there looking at it, and the doctor heard what Caleb said, and after he's like, what is that guy saying? Almost as if he was a quack. These are the people we are expected to put our full trust in. Nah, I know better. But you got money to bring cartel. That's great. So that's the first reason. Adriana Young hasn't had any justice, right? So I'm not going to no cartel show. The second reason I'm not going to any cartel show. There was a terrorist attack in Guyana, in Georgetown, in the city, just like 2 or 3 days ago. There was a terror attack in this city 2 days ago. A bomb was placed by a police station that exploded. It was found to have nuts and bolts inside of the bomb. It looked like a timed explosive, something that had never been set off in this country before, something that had, from my sources, from the people in military that have reached out to me, I'm telling you that call me directly, not that I went to search for, that military people that call me, telling me that is something you don't see in Guyana. Guyanese, even in the military, not trained to make those. So if it's not local knowledge, who made the bomb? Who put it there? Some things I cannot come here and tell you. It's just the truth is being whispered. And those of you looking probably want to come and frame some charge for put B-Man in jail. Let me tell you, the truth is always whispered. It always gets out. The people that see and that know, all of the people, they tell somebody and tell somebody. The truth does get out. And I am very worried about what I am hearing. I can't tell you what I'm hearing, but I am very troubled, disturbed, and worried about it. There is no way I'm going to a concert until y'all pull in the persons or person that is responsible for that bomb. I don't know if y'all noticed where it was set, but if the lantern post close to there, they get catch, the whole city would go into darkness. It was a terror attack. People don't just go and set explosive devices, improvise explosive devices. We hear nothing about that. That's why I say, how desperate are this government for whatever measly votes they think they will get off of cartel's performance. Whether y'all think that's a sufficient distraction, right, for the people of this nation to forget Adriana Young. We will not. We absolutely will not. That you would still go ahead with a concert, let's bring in an international artist, and gather thousands of people at a stadium when a terrorist is on the loose? Are you mad? You mad? That was a warning shot. As far as I'm concerned, that seemed like a warning. He did it at 12:40 a.m. That's according to reports. There were not a lot of people around, right? There was one female officer in that station. And people jumped to the conclusion that it was the government. Now, I told you from the beginning, we have to consider all things. We have to consider whether it was a local actor. We have to consider whether it's a foreign actor. And I want to talk a little more about this problem we're having with Venezuela, right? So I noticed today, backtrack a little bit. I noticed today that this guy, Randy Jagdeo, is in the news. Now, Randy Jagdeo was involved in some shooting. He shot a man, he killed a man a few years ago, and he walked on the charge. People felt he should not have walked. He shot the guy directly. He walked on that charge, right? Now, today I see he's been, I think it's $350,000 bail or something for inciting treason or something to do with treason. This man was charged for a Guyanese man. A lot of people jumped on the post to say this guy, it's justice. Randy Jagdeo should go down. He's treasonous. People say he shouldn't even be put on bail. He should be locked away forever. Guyanese attacking our own Guyanese for treason. They said, the newspapers reported it as if this man said Essequibo belongs to Venezuela. I scanned this page. I want you guys to point me to where this post is that he said Essequibo belongs to Venezuela. I didn't see any evidence of that. I would like you guys to tell me if it's something I missed. Was it a comment he made somewhere? Because I didn't find any post. I saw him saying that Essequibo belongs to the highest bidder, and right now that is Exxon. That's a bit of satire to me, right? So just like the man who posted a meme a couple weeks ago about speed cameras and the government locked him up and charged him for terrorism, right? Now you got Randy Jagdeo before the courts for treason, right? Why? Because there was a picture that came up on the internet. Apparently Randy owns this $1,000 store, and there was a One Guyana logo that was on top of his shop. And let me break this down for you. There was a One Guyana logo on top of his shop. And you know when the Venezuelans do their map, they exclude 3/4 of Guyana. They just draw a thin sliver, right? A thin sliver. So I'm seeing I just got a WhatsApp as I'm talking to you. Apparently it was 2 explosives that went off simultaneously, right? So back to Randy Jagdeo, because I'm weaving this story. We're going to get right back to where we were, right? So Randy put up this One Guyana logo thing up on top of his shop. And just like some of the Venezuelans we've been found on Sheriff Street and that had the One Guyana thing, or they had Guyana with just the piece, a map. I don't remember none of those people. I remember somebody would have had it on the hot dog card. I don't remember any of those Spanish people being charged for treason or deport. I don't remember none of that. I just know the Guyanese that put up this thing was charged. Now, let me tell you what's the messed up thing about charging this man for treason. As far as I know, let me tell you, first of all, the first crime Randy was involved in, he walked. I thought that was very suspicious. I'm not mixing issues. The court let him off that day. I'm talking about this charge for treason, right? Now, to the best of my knowledge, Randy Jagdeo is not a graphic designer. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Randy Jagdeo is not a graphic designer. Hold that thought in your head. There were also other pictures that were put up showing this Independence Boulevard that was opened by President Irfan Ali. The One Guyana on that also has the Venezuelan version of our map. So how you charging Randy Jagdeo with treason and you ain't charge Irfan Ali with treason? If he opened a road, commissioned this road, and they put up a plaque and everything, and the same fine map there up there, how you charging one man and not the president? That's number one. Number two, if you did your research, right, you'll find there's a Venezuelan page called Mi Mapa de Venezuela incluye nuestro Essequibo, right? My map of Venezuela includes our Essequibo. There's a page. Those guys been around for donkey's years, always provocating, taunting Guyanese, putting out their fake news, publishing their fake history, even though the Dutch colonized the Essequibo region since 1616, right? Between the 1500s and 1600s, there's no Spanish presence in that area. The Dutch colonized Essequibo. I think it's by 1627 is when they started Berbice, right? Essequibo, Demerara, Berbice, Dutch, not Spanish, right? So they published the fake information online, whatever. But the other thing Mi Mapa de Venezuela people did was when that One Guyana logo came out with the map, right? They made their own version. They made their own version of it, and they took out 3/4 of the map. And they put that version online as a PNG file. Now, what is a PNG file? A PNG file is a file format that can encode transparency into a file. So if you wanted a logo or something that just had a blank background, actually look up in the ceiling. You see this checkerboard pattern? So if you want something that just has the image and behind is a blank background, so you could just drop it on anything. There's like a transparency. You publish that as among other formats, but one of the most classic formats to publish that file in is a PNG format. And if you're a graphic designer, as I happen to be, well, apart from my beekeeping and all that, but I do multimedia production as well, right? So if you're a designer and you putting together something, a graphic or something for someone, you would go online and you would look for PNG files if you needed something that was immediately transparent. Otherwise, you could use that, you could mask it, you could do a background select. You have different options, but the easiest thing to do is look for a PNG of whatever it is you're looking for. So my genuine belief is that Randy Jagdeo wanted to show some sort of patriotism. He probably wanted to do some head nod to President Irfan Ali's One Guyana initiative. And he would have commissioned a graphic designer to put this One Guyana thing together. Now, this person would have gone online and typed One Guyana PNG or something similar, and a number of images would have popped up. One of the most popular images that came up, and you have to click the link and be observant to see, is that same map that Mi Mapa de Venezuela incluye nuestra Essequibo created. They created it as a sick practical joke and they put it on the internet. Unsuspecting multimedia people, graphics people downloaded their image thinking it was the Guyanese version of it. Even the president got fooled. They put it on a bloody plaque and the man opened the road. Nobody noticed. It's there since 2023. But now when Randy Jagdeo, when an ordinary Guyanese citizen gets caught up in it, and he basically falls for a practical joke that the Venezuelans are playing on Guyana. You understand how bad this thing look? It's a practical joke that the Venezuelans are playing on the Guyanese. And this man get pulled in for treason. Y'all heard good? Give that man his money back and loose him. Loose the man and give him his bloody money back. Y'all heard good? Treason is a sick joke that the Venezuelans played. Guyanese fall for it. Y'all need to do a public awareness campaign. Get your IT people to go online and try some denial of service attack on the people website, or pull it down, complain, to go do some real work for a change. Do some real work. Go and get that image pulled off the internet. Do a public sensitization campaign to let multimedia producers and graphic designers across the land know that there is a corrupted version of the One Guyana logo, and the official One Guyana logo exists in this particular repository, and you can access it in this particular manner if you go to this particular site. But we're encouraging Guyanese to be wary. the Venezuelans have tried to corrupt the graphic set, and this and this and this are fake, and this and this and this is real. I don't believe the man intended to go and put up that. Just like the president didn't notice when he was opening the road that had the thing right there. I don't believe Mr. Jagdeo noticed it. Why is he in for treason? Why, like that guy that you charge for terrorism that had a freaking meme on his page? You can't make joking, you know. And you're going after Guyanese for treason. Where is the terrorist that set off the bombs? Well, it's bombs, because the people hear 2 explosions. We just talking about the one, but it's 2 simultaneous explosions. Where are the terrorists? And you go in a whole concert to pull thousands of people together when a man just planting a bomb that's similar to what them guys put in the Boston bombings, right? Something that could effect mass casualties. Your head good? Me ain't going to no Vibes Cartel show. Y'all didn't even find the terrorists. You find people was protesting peacefully. I was going taking pictures of people at the hospital just there, right? And they're showing up in the news. You had a whole string of terrorists and people for inciting terrorism, inciting dozens of our young men photographed, ready to go, put in jail, $500,000 bail. But when a real terror attack happened on this soil, 3 days pass and you can't find this person. Where else are they? What other plans do they have? What else is going to happen? Who are they? Where is the footage? Why aren't the public being notified of what really happened? You don't want to create panic, because you don't know. From what I know, and I can't tell you right now, because that's the state's responsibility. You already know you're going to create a panic in this country. And that's what has pissed me off about Guyana, right? It's like we're being coddled like children. We're either being gaslit and told we're not seeing what we really saw, or information is deliberately kept from us. It's like an information vacuum living in Guyana. Vital information for this regarding the safety of the population is kept from us so that political objectives can be achieved. Vis-a-vis bringing in Vibes Cartel, not the FBI, to create spectacle and entertainment. When we have terrorists walking around that blowing up bombs within 3 days of his arrival, you would still keep that concert? Did you tell Vibes there's terrorists running around the city and you don't know where they are? I don't know. Somebody tag Vibes Cartel. We can sing, the pressure coke. No, there's nothing for sing about. There's nothing for sing about. Find the terrorists. Where are they? Are they Guyanese? Some of us already know the answer to that. That's why I told you I'm worried. Worried. I would not be going to no Vibes Cartel show. I'm not going to no show, as a matter of fact. 0. I'm not going no show. None. Y'all gotta find that terrorist and let Guyanese know what's up. Right? And I hear Jagdeo the other day, they said it's 24,000 Venezuelans registered. Right? Then the Foreign Affairs Minister, after this thing happened, right? And then we hear they got Venezuelans shooting at Guyanese on the border. After we hear about this, the Foreign Affairs Robert Montgomery Passad, came to tell the population that with 100,000 Venezuelans of direct or indirect Venezuelan ancestry, I thought y'all say you was letting in people that had Guyanese ancestry. I thought y'all say people was coming back home. Now you're saying 100,000 of them got Venezuelan ancestry that are living in the country. So 100,000 minus 24,000 who are registered would leave you with 76,000 unregistered Venezuelans in Guyana. Is the maths really mathsing? Is that maths? Really? That's what we say? There's a lot of people to be hanging around in your country that you don't know where they are. That's a lot of people. Mind you, I will reiterate, when people in Venezuela reaching 18, a lot of them go into the military and got military experience. So let us just say only half of the Venezuelans here have some military experience and training. That would be what? 50,000? How big is our whole army plus reserve? 7,000? Y'all handing out 200 guns in the hinterland to untrained people. Kill out national service. Disband the militia and these things. The other day when Venezuela was saber rattling, I see it start recruiting for a reserve army, but just like everything else, it just die away. Don't hear nothing about it. Right? So you potentially let a fighting force of Venezuelans into the country, people that have military experience, and a lot of them unregistered. So the enemy is already within the gates. And they are ready. They are already here. More than our own military. And only a crazy government would invite people willy-nilly and be distributing ID cards to them. So that their own military ends up being outnumbered. And I told you, these private security firms not going to the border. Right? So the government is talking about, they're saying that they had Venezuelans shooting at us from the Guyanese side. Well, people from Essequibo been calling nearby. So let me give you some updates that it seems like we're not getting much of. So apparently, yes, there have been skirmishes on the Cayuni, and they have the Venezuelans on their side that were shooting at our soldiers and stuff. What the government not talking about is the Venezuelan, not on the Venezuelan side, but the Venezuelans on our side of the river that are heavily armed with AK-47s and other weaponry. When people talk about these things, y'all coming for say, it's propaganda, it's Venezuelan propaganda. It's Guyanese I'm hearing it from. It's Guyanese calling worried, wondering why the government not doing anything about it, not making statements. But it's that desperation. Election coming up, you want to seem incompetent when it is clear as day this government is incompetent. Practically handing away our land. They have Venezuelans on our side of the border that are heavily armed. Right? The Venezuelan government is reportedly even paying some people. Right? They're reportedly even financing some people to come here. I've been told that there are Venezuelans here in Guyana that looking people straight in the face and would tell them Essequibo belongs to Venezuela. Y'all think that's a joke? No. It's happening. They're becoming more bold about it. But you have the time to go and throw a man from $1,000 store that's trying to do business in jail for a picture that he downloaded off that not him but his multimedia person downloaded off the internet. You throw a nurse in jail for terrorism, right? When you know how much people calling for says, really is who sweet woman? You see the interviews Todd been doing with these other doctors that have come in, that goddess nurse sounding more and more credible. She did not even record herself. It was clear that someone else recorded. You throw her in jail for terrorism. So it's like the citizens of this country are being attacked by its own government while we have outsiders looking to attack us as well. We're under threat from every direction. Can't find these terrorists. Where's the people for the acid attack? Still up to now, we can't see this person. Where is Orlando that was responsible for abducting Adriana Young? How many Orlandos have they been in our lifetime? People just set up to take the fall for wealthy people's crimes. Because God knows if the people that moved from in front of that hotel, Adriana's body would have turned up somewhere else, and they done arrest a man for abduction. Y'all let that sink into your head. What could have happened to Orlando? Cannot trust the state. Can't trust the evidence they provide. Can't trust their statements. It's a lack of confidence that we're feeling right now in a dire time. So yeah, there's Venezuelans in your face telling you Essequibo belonged to Venezuela. How many of them in the newspaper for treason and getting deported? How many? But you're doing it to Guyanese. Almost as if you're in cahoots with them. Right? You allow them to get armed on this side of the border, doing their reconnaissance. It's important that Guyanese speak Spanish. People be like, oh, why are we going to learn Spanish? Well, it's important. It's important. It's not important as a means of just accommodating the Venezuelans, but so you're conscious, because right now, and again, this comes back to the education system. It's also been administered by incompetent people. That most Guyanese, we have Spanish on the curriculum, and most Guyanese cannot speak it. So Venezuelans are right next to you and could be planning your own demise in your own community. And it's a very, very visible Venezuelan presence in Guyana. There's nowhere I go that I don't see Venezuelans. I don't hate Venezuelans, but it's different if your neighbor living next door to you believe that 3/4 of your house and land belong to him. You just cannot invite too much of his family for sleepovers. Why is that so hard to understand? Right? The government has not implemented any mass deportation program or anything. We just allowing more people to flood in the country, more unregistered people. And they are coming because they genuinely believe it's in their textbooks. It's the same way that some of you believe Barnum was a dictator. Most of you never actually gone and done your own reading. And just like me, you grow up the PPP every day for years and years. You're just drilling it in your head. No matter how many good speeches or how many things you see that show you this guy was an intelligent man, you just drum it in your head every day for your whole life. He was a dictator, he was a dictator, he was a dictator, he was a dictator. They don't talk about their own extrajudicial killing spree. They don't talk about their own dictatorial tendencies, but they just drill it home. They even commission films for you too. Burnham, the African dictator. Black dictator. Just keep pushing it at you. So some of you, no matter, now you're triggered. You just hear the word Burnham and you gone crazy. He's a dictator. You come out with some racist crap in the comments, right? Never read a single speech the man made, but you know he's a dictator because you were conditioned and trained. And that is the very same way that Venezuelans have been conditioned and trained from birth, looking through their textbooks and school, that Essequibo belongs to them. And in the same way, nobody could come to some of you and be like, I don't think Burnham was really a dictator like you guys saying. You'll be like, whoa, oh, you. Same way, you can't go to some of them and tell them Essequibo actually belongs to Guyana. Here are the facts. We had it since 1616. This was not included in the Treaty of Tordesillas, right? There was the Peace of Munster, the Anglo-Dutch Treaty. They don't care about that. They don't care for facts. They just know what they were brought upon, and they have this severe cognitive dissonance. So it's not a situation where they're coming to Guyana feeling that these Guyanese are being gracious to us. So, no, it's their country they feel they come into. And just so you know, they extend all the way, even where the president living is on the claim of Venezuela claiming that. And we doing the butterfly and bringing Vibes Cartel. We had good. I tell you, all them up there, they got their money stashed in foreign in Chinese bank, Indian bank, and the family they're punk cop. Soon Maduro go. The gun. Notice where all the Pradovilles, where the government build their private estates, where the Pradovilles located. One is like a few 100 feet from the airport, the first one. The next Pradoville is by Sparnam. They hide themselves behind the police station because, you know, they like treat the police like dog and tools. and they hide themselves behind there. They build up all their mansion and everything, and they're just 5 minutes away from the airport. Look at where most of the ministers them living, where they set up the fancy place, is close to the airport. Because the slightest sign of trouble, they will beat out. Last time Venezuela was saber rattling, they were going to hold an election to seize 2/3 of Guyana. Our president flew to Dubai. He was not here. He was not here. He's in Dubai. Not Guy Dhabi, my friends. Right? So, consider those things. We're charging Guyanese for terrorism and treason. But the real people, the real gangsters committing terrorism, y'all ain't arresting none of the Venezuelans. The person that called me told me, he said, we have toy soldiers. It's very embarrassing. He said it's like we have toy soldiers. Them guys can't even ramp with the civilian gang people who come in how heavily armed they are. And the government just want to keep a tight lip on it. They want to talk about it. What happened to the people that crashed in the helicopter, the GDF pilots? Still can't hear on it. It's almost like if certain people's life don't have no value. Zero value. You feed the army like crap. You give them basic poor provision. They don't even have a field hospital. And you expect them to die for you. Die for the people that have been stealing our land and assets and resources. Soldiers that can't even get 0.5 of an acre, that waiting 20 years and 30 years to get a little piece of land. And you want them to go and die for it. Done nothing to beef up national service. And you have a fighting force of people just bleeding into the country. So at some point, and the other thing I've been told, all along the Essequibo coast, there's a mad rush because some of these people now pretending they're Warao and different tribes, some pretending that they're local indigenous people, and there seems to be a mad rush. So think of it. When people say the Guyanese government literally kind of giving away the country, well, if on the Venezuela end, they're telling their citizens, you own Essequibo, they funding some of them and telling them, go and occupy your land. And on the Guyana side, people taking bribe, people accepting them in, turning a blind way. One tell me, Venezuelan person, they apparently called to see if they got for the extension, and they were told, oh, they don't have to worry about that coming in for the stamp and whatever, right? So when you reach here now, the government of Guyana, you come in with your military trade and whatever from Venezuela, the government of Guyana, finding a way to give you ID card. They giving you $100,000 cash grant when most Guyanese ain't collect their cash grant yet. They're finding your housing, right? They're setting you up for vote. Is how long until 100,000 turn into 2 or 300,000 and you have your own voting block that then somebody would just give it to them? Y'all heard good? No. Heading good. Right? So, ain't no way I going to Mr. Vibes Cartel concert for make myself a target for no terrorists, because up to now the government are so incompetent they can't even locate them and present them to us or the footage of what happened. But y'all could find petty criminals on the road and people that was lighting tire and charge them for terrorism by a man blowing up a police station back. You can't find? You're heading good. You're heading good. Right? And yeah, Carter might have some bodyguard or whatever, but what about the rest of us? We're tired of being left vulnerable and exposed. The government is very self-assured, like the US is going to come and help us out. You don't get something for nothing in this life. Right? What is there for the Guyanese and what are we doing for ourselves? We're tying ourselves to the fate of another country. America, if it is able forever, and I don't know which civilization has ever done that, maintained its dominance in perpetuity, like forever and ever and ever. There's no civilization or empire that hasn't fallen at some point for another to rise. So China is beefing up its military capacity. Russia is very strong, right? So All this hope that we have that America's going to come to our rescue, that they're going to take their young men and women from all the way in the States and send them down to Guyana to fight and die on our behalf for land we can't even be bothered to take care of properly and keep clean and put laws in place so it's not polluted and violated and desecrated, right? For a government that even pay their own soldiers a pittance and send them to the front line with crappy food and provisions. But we expect foreigners will come and die for me and you. Your head good? Your head ain't good. How many of them will come? How many? How many thousands of people are we willing to sacrifice? Right? Always dependent on other people. Have so much, doesn't matter how much we have. The government always putting us in a position to beg. Is he still begging for loans? We have more money than we ever had. We're still begging people for loans, right? We have the money to now start securing ourselves for a while. We're still begging people for assistance to come and help us. Begging. And y'all have the nerve to talk about hungry belly. Y'all have the country like a hungry belly country. Always begging with we hand out. Can't do for ourselves, right? It's disgraceful. So, yeah, y'all have to, if it's 76,000 people, y'all telling we unregistered, according to Robert Prasad comment, when you do the maths between Robert Prasad and Bharat Jagdev and you subtract, he said 24,000 registered. The next one says about 100,000 of them. There's 76,000 people we know with it there, with it doing, what background they had, who used to do bar making back in Caracas. We don't know. Just there on. Y'all happy to have them because election around the corner. Let's register as much of them as possible. Right? You don't care about the future of this country and this nation. Not in the same way some of us do. We don't have a safe country for our children. You know how it's... You don't even know how it transforms people's relationship with the outdoors. A lot of people don't want to carry their children out now. They're frightened. It's going to affect business in this country. Watch. People are scared. They don't feel like they're safe for their children. And now we're realizing it's not even safe for us. You have terrorists running around. You can't catch them. Exploding technical bombs in this country. And you're going to hold a big show, a big concert. Y'all gonna keep those people safe? And I bet you on my life, something like that happened, y'all gonna be like, opposition is opposite. Must answer me something, somebody, right? Why is it? How we get to the place? Like, if any Afro-Guyanese person, any black person does anything, whether they're born a tire, they rob someone, whatever a black person does, the opposition name does get called. A black person robs someone, the opposition does thief. The opposition. When East Indian people or any other color people in this country commit robbery, chop up people, rob people, whatever, kill people, how you doing here? Oh, is the PPP one? Is a PPP thug? Or why is that? Or are we talking about a deep systemic racism and prejudice that is in our society? It's one or the other. I just find that funny and peculiar. I find it funny and peculiar. So, no, you could bring Vibes Cartel, but you can't bring the FBI. And I want to talk briefly. I'm going to do a live that's more at length about this. So, with regard to Adriana Young, I posted something the other day where we were talking about the comments, the proliferous comments that have flooded feeds about Adriana, about her dad and the family and the GoFundMe. And the GoFundMe apparently reached about 43,000 US, right? Or how much ever, around $9 million, around that. And people now say, the family trying to milk it for the money. They didn't want to bury the girl. Some of the most cruel comments I've ever seen. The one said what? The decaying body something. And someone said they should take the body home. And they're basically milking this dead girl's body for money. And now they're rich. and the father gonna buy 2 minibus and he gonna buy a house and they gonna just keep the body on. Mostly people from the government, party supporters. I check, go through a lot of these people and see who comment and go and click through and see is who. And then run the page. Party supporters. Why is that? Why? How did this girl's death become political? How? The most horrible things. I want to ask you. You guys are saying that the family trying to profit from this death. To the best of my knowledge, they're not draw down on that fund yet because that fund got to cover the anything else that they want a second opinion on that body. It's their right. The government don't own their daughter. Anytime their daughter being close to the government, which it include the police is part of the executive branch, falls under the president. Anytime their daughter had anything to do with the police, it didn't go good. It didn't go good. They were not there to protect and to serve. They protected the hotel people. And what was served to the parents the next morning was their child's dead body. Okay? Think about that. That's what was served. So, you trying to say these parents gonna get rich and blah, blah. No. They gotta get the second opinion. They gotta pay for that. If they fly the body out of the country, they fly Adriana out of the country, they have to pay for that too. They have to get a second opinion or whatever from someone abroad, the Americans, they're gonna have to pay for that too. They're gonna have to pay for their hotel and accommodation. They're gonna have to pay for their flights. When they have the funeral, they're gonna have to pay for the funeral as well. Not one dime has been given to these people in compensation. You think the hotel, they admit any neglect or negligence? They're supposed to have a lifeguard, mind you, had no lifeguard. And she did not drown in that pool. But for those of you saying, oh, she drowned in the pool, they have a lifeguard. It's negligence, right? But she was not in the pool. We saw her at 1:29, at 1:33, we saw that there was wet footprints going into the female washroom. And the owner for Doubleday, the son of the owner there, said he was not at the hotel all day. He was in the frame. He appeared to be recording or have his phone pointed in her direction. And at 1:33, when you see the wet footprints going into the bathroom, he appears to be turning. That's all I will say. Why doesn't the investigation follow that line? And you still expect us to believe this girl drowned in the pool with a set of people there. In the deep end when you could clearly see she was in the shallow. Your head good? Can't be good. Right? So, all of those costs have to be met. The hotel, not compensate them a dime. The police, the government, no one has compensated this family one dime for their child. They have all of these expenses. How are they to meet them? And some of you on there deliberately, spitefully, and maliciously trying to interrupt the flow of fundraising to this family, knowing fully well they will have a lot of expenses. That $9 million will vanish. There's not no money. There's not no money. But some of you, that you're not good enough that these people have lost something that's irreplaceable. Can never bring her back. It's not good enough that they have lost the irreplaceable. For some of you, you need them to also live in poverty and squalor. You must see them suffer more. That would make you content. You think $9 million could buy back a child? How much you would let somebody pay you for your child? How much money you would take? That's wild. So stop it. It's nasty. It's despicable. It's disgraceful. It's disrespectful. It shows a lack of empathy and compassion. It shows a lack of humanity to be out attacking these people. If you see Sir Brian Young, Adriana's father, you know the man is work boss. If you see him with a shoulder bag of money, conductors don't always have money on them, man. If you see him drinking a Guinness and beating himself on a video, leave him alone. Leave him alone. The man entitled to beat his Guinness if he wants. You just come through one of the most horrific, traumatic experiences I could possibly imagine a father having to go through. Leave him alone. Leave him. Stop harassing that family and antagonizing them. Stop calling them and baiting them into phone calls that you want to record for your own viewership or your own laugh or to try and derail the narrative. I keep telling you, this is a cruel country. I see cruelty in this country. So I keep coming to you and telling you guys, find a way to be empathetic. Uproot the prejudice in your hearts and let it go before it is too late. Your enemy is knocking at your gates and you are fighting among yourselves. How will you possibly respond to a threat in a coordinated, cohesive manner? A threat which demands all of our cooperation and all of our unity. We have political forces trying to stoke division in here at home for the benefit of election. Because y'all is always ramp it up when it's coming close to election. Even as the people next door hold an election. Like for nothing you don't want unity in this country. Why is that? Why is that? And for those of us calling for unity, you do your best with the propaganda platforms like Daily News and Action News and Critic and all these guys to defame, criminalize us. The people that are trying to inform, keep our fellow citizens informed. Come and criminalize us. It's despicable. It's distasteful. Right? That's why I told you guys I joined VPAC. I joined VPAC because I'm fed up of the status quo. I can literally see our country being sold from under our feet. Right? So, was Randy not kind of right if he's saying Essequibo belongs to the highest bidder and right now is Exxon? It was satirical, but that's how y'all acting. The people come, you're giving them ID card, you're giving them money, you're giving them a house, you're giving them... So and Guyanese there, you're waiting 20, 30 years. So it almost look as if the government gave him preference. It's not a typical refugee situation. And at best, if you had to say, all right, yeah, maybe we'll let you know 20,000, 30,000. Hey, we have a quota, sorry. When you reach in your boat, you'll be like, Mr. Venezuelan, I was so happy you could make it across the ocean, but I'm so afraid our coach is full for Essequibo. We're only about 200 of you allowed here, or 1,000, or whatever it is, and we would like if you could just keep on your way. We have a nice place down the Quarantine in Berbice, or down the river, or we have a place to develop in. Wherever, pick a place. We need people to go there and develop it. But you can't live in Essequibo because it belongs to Guyana. Y'all heard good? You're going to really... The next door have 23 million people. Well, minus the 100,000 who live in here. You're really going to have the border just open it. At some point, there will be more Venezuelans living in Essequibo than Guyanese. And whose is it then? Who are you sending to fight them through? It's a silent war. It's not the heated thing you think a plane will come and drop 2 bombs. No. This is a silent takeover that is being executed. And it's being executed in front of our very eyes. And we have a government that has failed to protect us from it. It's failing right now. Where are the terrorists that planted that bomb and hopscotching around the city a couple days before a Vibes Cartel concert is due? A bomb with nuts and bolts meant to cause maximum damage. That's the kind of thing that those terrorists explode in crowds that has injured many people because these bolts be flying all over the place. Multiple gruesome injuries has happened. You cannot find this man. You're going through a freaking concert with thousands of people. How many dead Guyanese do we need? I'm so disappointed in our leadership sometimes. It's just, my hair just raising on my hand right now. But I have to come, when I see this thing, I say, man, Francis, do a live talk to these people and tell them why you're not going. I am boycotting that. And hell no. Hell no. Y'all could, I like ice cream. Y'all could even be like, Francis, free ice cream for the whole. I don't care. I don't care. Y'all know me. You can't catch me with freeness. In apps, you can give me a free ticket. You can give me a VIP. You could say, Francis, you could stand on stage next to Vibes. Right? And for the whole show, y'all just there ponging. So like, one bro. I don't care. I don't care. You could resurrect Michael Jackson and bring him while I might pass for people. You know I like Michael Jackson, but I don't care. Me ain't going in that. Crowds, I staying away from crowds. For the longest, so I'm not going in no big set of crowd. And no, it's dangerous out there. You have a terrorist roaming loose in the city. You don't know if the person working with a unit. You don't know what their background is. You have nothing to tell the people. And we don't feel safe. You have nothing to tell us. It could be a cell working here, a terrorist. You don't know. You have nothing to tell us. I'm not going supporting no events that nobody throw. I'm not going. Right? Oh, you got ice cream? Y'all know how forget me by. It was what kind, what brand? They gonna deal with you. They gonna deal with you, boy. It's funny. Anybody coming talking about safety, security, y'all gonna deal with them. Anybody calling for justice for Adriana Young, you gonna deal with them. Anybody that going and reprint a one Guyana sign that the Venezuelans did a practical joke, right? Instead of doing an information campaign to sensitize the people, you're locking them up for treason. You're locking up normal people for terrorism. But the real terrorists you can't find. You can't find the Venezuelans attacking we at the border. You can't find the ones in we country with guns. You can't. You're attacking your own people. Bullies. Bullies. Brewster's has the best ice cream. I like Brewster's ice cream, you know, but I love Ben and Jerry's. I love my Ben and Jerry's. Haagen-Dazs a little too sweet for me. The Ben and Jerry's is just hit it just right in the middle. They got this flavor caramel sutra. Love that one, boy. Love my little caramel sutra. Who else? There was one at the, I can't remember the name, but they used to have like a cool block that they used to mix up the ice cream. It was close to the market. I think they moved. I remember the name at some point. They did very good ice cream. Love ice cream, right? Jamaica also has, they have Devon House there. If you guys go Jamaica, you gotta go Devon House, try their ice cream. It's legendary, right? So, guys, come on. Let's get serious about our own safety. And I have to come and give you this warning as I have in the past. I don't care if I turn on TV and I see 3 people at Vice Cartel show. I can be like, thank God. That means when people safe in the bed and nobody, right? You better find this terrorist. You don't can forget people winding up and put people in problems. And what will happen? You must consider worst case scenarios. What happens if the same person that set the bomb by the police station finds his way to the Vibes Cartel concert? We are going to tell us, sorry, oops. You're going to blame the opposition. You're going to blame Azruddin. I know you're all obsessed with Azruddin. You're going to blame me for talking about it. What are you going to do? Catch the people. Go and find them. Find the acid attack people while you're at it. Set of liars that come to us making up things and fabricating things. But when the shit hit the fan, when we need you to do real work, you're not there. Just demonstrating incompetence, callousness. Right? You're there to block the second autopsy for Adriana. But you can't block a man that's trying to plant a bomb by a police station. Your head good? Head ain't good. This government head ain't good. So, that's Cold Stone Ice. Yes! That's what I'm talking, you see? Well, treason charge. Yeah, as I saying. They mad? How much bail the pot bomber man going on? If a man that printed 1 Guyana, $350,000 bill. Right? It's not Randy fault. whatever other sins Randy have, and I don't know Randy personally. Me and Randy Jackie is not like personal friend. I see thing online one time and nobody, I know the first murder he was implicated in, he walk off from it. Okay, there's separate crime. This here with the treason, and that's why I say you must have compassion and humanity within you. You don't judge a man for the same thing 2 times. Well, there's one story there, and I'm looking at a separate story. If he for go to jail for that, he for go to jail for that. But for treason, for printing a thing and putting it on you sign, right? That was just floating on the internet. Government never do nothing. Yeah, I better tell the people about your cybersecurity network and just clarify for the people, for me, whether Venezuela has been doing any cyber attacks on Guyana and how many of our systems they've infiltrated. I wish the government would come and clarify certain things for the population so we would know is what's really going on. Because like I said, I can't talk everything I know. Because the dictatorship gonna come and harass me for it. But I have to find some way to give you guys, to walk the line on the edge so I can warn you guys without saying too much. But in no way in heaven, I man going to no vibes cartel. I gonna hold me vibes for me own. See, where I gotta go and sit by the trench corner with my friend Moses and the family and go and do a little fishing or something. Or I go and play a little music with my bro. I'm not going to no concert. I eat ice cream by myself. I'm not going to no concert. Alright? And if you heading good, you go. Me ain't going. I frightened. I frightened for go. Me ain't going. I frightened. Bomb me playing with the bike. No sir. No sir. I would not enjoy myself. A time I went to, just to tell you when something on your mind. A time I was in, where was it? I think it was in Jamaica actually. And I went scuba diving with the tanks and you going on the water. So we did the training and everything, you know, and then we went, is deep water. You buy get on the tank and everything. You go over the boat, now under the water, me and this instructor. You know, for the first 5 minutes, I feel like I was swimming on my back. Because as I get in the water now, you know, blue thing, we going to look for some reef. And all I could hear in my head was, dun 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 dun. And then I was like, yo, I watched too much Jaws in my life. I just keep looking for sharks. You say to me, I could not enjoy this swimming. I was like, Jaws, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about you, but I felt like a snack. Not that kind of snack either. I was like, I suddenly felt like I was not in my own turf. Like I didn't know exactly what was going on. Mucho problema el banco tu dinero. Okay, yeah. So I felt like I was in something dinner plate. So for the first, I could not enjoy the scuba session. Afterwards, ease up a little bit. And then I tried to swim closer to the instructor because I said, well, now it's 50-50. If the shark guy eats somebody, well, it's either me or this man here, but don't swim too far behind Francis. You boy was foot on foot, fin on fin, flipper on flipper with the instructor. He probably think this is a very diligent guy. But me, I was like, I got low the chances me alone getting eat by. Plus, you know, so imagine me now trying to go to a Vibes Cartel concert and be saying, I'm on the night. Me ain't even want to wind up on a bumper because the bumper might blow up. You understand? I frightened. Right? Can't enjoy myself. I sorry. It's like that. Bad man don't play them game. Are you sure Vibes know? You know real bad man from the bad man. The bad man, he be like, oh blood clot, me not know that pressure cooker go off in a Guyana. Nah man, me a go home. You call me back when say you catch a terrorist. Nah deal with that man. You know sir? I man not deal with that. A man say me run my yard, man not run wrong my yard. But down here, it's like we ain't running we yard. It's like we ain't running we yard. Right? Man I just a blow up thing wrong a police thing. Nah. Me I am the airport driver. Don't stop at that. Me not gonna get. Where you think they come from? So, yeah guys, that's what I wanted to say. It not make sense. Stay your ass at home. That is my personal opinion. Stay your ass home. Okay? If you want vibes, call your man, call your woman. Eat little food, buy good ice cream. And catch your vibes in your bed. Wake up alive. Right? Let the government go and find the terrorists them. I feel very unsafe. I feel very unsafe. You know, go to my house, somebody could come and fling acid on me and then disappear. I go to my house and I disappear. Somebody could come and say, Francis get abducted by a man named Orlando. We got the footage, but we don't got the footage. I go outside and the man take a pressure cook and be like, hey, big go, you want cook up? Boodoo! It's a freaking bomb. It's not cook up. I more rather get the explosion from the black eyed peas, you know, and say next morning, like, we need like 2 roll of Suave or Charmins or Scott. I don't know, they're really disrespectful to the puppy vibe. Put the puppy in toilet paper. Oh my God, vibe. But for me, you feel safe. Beside me, not safe. And that's why you're electing people that leave you feeling chronically unsafe in your own country, that literally giving it away. Guyanese ain't even getting trucking jobs. You bring in Chinese and giving them controlling the quarry, controlling who collecting load. They loading before the Guyanese. We literally become second and third class citizens in our own house. You cite me and you expect everybody to be smiling like, God, I love this second class citizen status. I love it. I love it. Give those people their jobs. I just love it. Unemployment feels so great. You think those are people out there feel? No. You got to do better by the people. You got to do better. We want our children to feel safe. We would like to feel safe traversing the city and going and enjoying entertainment. Right? You got backball on your own. Beside me, I need like a 6-foot blast radius zone. Nobody dancing around me. When you go into the club from now is with a mop stick. Push you away, push you skites. Cause me know who got the pressure cooker. Sight me. Very nervous. And it's either them or they got a crazy people from Sheriff Security who are also running Guyana Daily News out in the street shooting at people with or without the police. Y'all heard good? It ain't good. Nah. Government head ain't good. Me know by like them Ozempic got like side effects. It affecting people thinking. You know what I mean? Some people losing weight and some people losing brain cells off it from YC, and some people losing weight in the wrong place. Like from up here, some people losing weight. Right? It don't make sense to me. Right? If y'all doing it, y'all better stop the tablet and go and eat back some food, yeah? Grow back them brain cells, because we need it. We need it. Okay? Some people didn't have a lot to begin with. You can't be affording to just discard half of your 20 brain. Jeez, man. Go back and eat back the food. Forget a thing. Eat your fatty acids and omega-3s. Get your fish in. Right? Fish gone to 900 a pound by. We importing Bangamiri from Trinidad. Just so y'all know. Bangamiri from Trinidad. You think frying with an accent. You know what I'm saying? You eat it, you're like, oh gosh. This take like shark and bake, eh? You come from Trinidad. You know, say real. Anyhow. So, that is it. Y'all want to discuss anything else before I go and dream of where this terrorist could be? Like, y'all gotta get a medium or something to be like the lady with the rap head that come, the spiritual medium that was able to tell the police force before they could do no investigation. This man, she community feel this man had a blue shirt. And guess who showed up in the picture? Right? It's like the universe is working, is speaking to us, but we're not listening to the messages. How many times people is dying in a pool? And within a couple weeks of Adriana supposedly drowned in a pool, a man really drowned in a pool. And the photos are all up for us to see. The guy in Linden. Why Guyana Daily News and all these people didn't publish that? Because it didn't go with your narrative of how people drown. That man drowned in real life. When living people go in the water and they drown, they sink. Any dead person or even a dead animal, if people throw dog, horse, these things overboard in the water and it's already dead, what's happened? It just float. It don't sink, it float. Only living thing that drown in water, they sink. But y'all think we is clown. Well, sometimes it's even a looking, searching the face with the paint. Because I don't even know. Right? Oh yeah, see Chinese man with the gun. Yeah, the man even, the other Guyanese on the scale. And like he protesting that the Chinese coming up full enough before you. And the man like, send a gun, man. Belly bad. No belly good. Right? Belly bad man. Right? So, you know, and I don't have a problem with our Sino-Guyanese population, as I call them, the Guyanese Chinese, in making a contribution to the growth and development of this nation like anyone else. But I'm talking about the people who have come directly from China. The operations that bring workers in from China to do every task, the construction to welding, whatever that they have Guyanese here to do. I am concerned that there's a lack of skills transfer. I am concerned that I know for sure. I checked. I can't go to China and just buy property. I can't go to China and just set up a business. I can't go to China and do practically anything without a lot of paperwork and waiting. And not like they could come here. It's an imbalanced system, right? And this is the back end when you're just begging for loans all the time, heavily indebted to this country, right? A man, you take a loan from someone to do a project, and then he tell you, you gotta use his workers, his staff, his material, his... Your head good? Head ain't good. In Jamaica, I see even the Chinese mechanics. That's what's gonna come to us next. The Chinese mechanics are now taking over Jamaica. Every industry, right? So Guyanese are just being squeezed out of our own land, being forced out through the airports to flee, right? Via that nasty passport office with the toilet. Jeez, the toilet look like the toilet time forgot. You sight me. When I go in the toilet, I start hearing the theme music from Saw 3. Sight me. It's just here I get the little puppet man from one of the toilet like, right? I would expect that. It looked freaky. They had mold on the wall. Like, yeah, breathe on the thing in there. Yeah, head good. Them I had grill on the toilet bowl at the passport office. I was like, who does thief a toilet bowl before they left the country? Like, would they really feel the people in a toilet overseas? You would grill down a toilet tank to the wall? The struggle is real, you know. At least you know the shit can't hit the fan in the passport office, because that man even put a grill on the shit. That man grill off everything. You don't hit the fan there, right? So, yeah, them Venezuelan looking at we, disrespecting we. Some of them people in the MIMAPA group is be calling us slaves. So, that's why I say, you know, like, the amount of racism and prejudice that's cultivated, actively cultivated by your political masters in this country is destructive. Because we fighting each other on some ethnic level here, and they're over there calling all of us slaves and slavos. We all refer to as slaves. And Guyana is a, what they say? Say Guyana, man said Guyana is a mistake. This is the last comment I read, man. I said Guyana is some mistake, blah, blah, blah. We are referred to as the slaves. This is what people next door calling me and coming and say, we this we country, and you like 100,000 of them. Y'all head is not good. So, let me see any more comments that I've missed. Stop now. Yeah, you gotta walk and study. Sorry. Comedy means is not comedy, is real facts I talking here. I'm watching. I'm waiting to see somebody tell me with the terrorists there, but I ain't see the getting a government job and waiting 3 months for your salary. Plus this persecutor, just for talking out here, look, just one Ministry of Agriculture through GLDA, they got nearly $1 million for you by. It's like over 2 years now. Send me job request forms, send me up and down the country. And you know when I submit me invoice, by the fourth invoice, these people come and tell me they had a committee meeting and it was decided I would not be paid. No reason. Government just decide you wouldn't be paid, Francis. I don't cuss on this thing, but that's pretty much what they tell me. Curious, right? Curious, gun Francis. We're not paying you. Thanks for the work, though. Thanks for saving all those lives. Now, curious, can't you like talk about pothole? Yeah. See if you get any money there. Call different people who are doing work for the government. How much years they cancel this work, cancel this. Don't call Francis, but I'm still going. Right? It was when I come to tell people the government is malicious, wicked, and hateful. Personal experience, right? And tomorrow must go and check Guyana Daily News and these crappy pages. Rather than one single point responding to any of these things I've raised to you tonight, they can come to tell you some stupidness, right? They come to tell you some stupidness. That's what they specialize in. So I want you to go and find the terrorists, right? Because next thing you're going to hear, that Vibes Cartel got sing but some pressure cooker song, or he can go back Guyana, and you already created a bad precedent. You know how much of your own people you lock up for terrorism that was doing nothing related to terrorism, and the real ones you cannot find them. I tate. Jeez. Anyhow, let me go. I wish you guys a lovely evening. And I don't know what else to say, but don't go to Vibes Cartel show. I'm saying, especially if you see them next thing the people be tomorrow. Come out for an explosive performance of Vibes. Me want to hear but no explosive performance. Just like me. Me want to hear but all. When them asked me, I went to the gas station, they asked me, you want the one with the explosive performance fuel? I was like, just give me the other fuel, please. The other one. I'm too traumatized. The week has been too hard. Okay? For you give me some pressure cooker fuel. Y'all get it right. Go and find them people. Y'all going to find madman and all kind of people on the road and pull them in. But you can't find the real ones. You don't want to tell people what really happened. You don't want Guyanese to panic, treating us like little children when we're grown-ass adults. Many of us gaslighting us, lying to us. And for those of us that come to try have reasoned conversations with our fellow comrades, you try to criminalize, demonize, and defame us. It's not escaped our attention. So, guys, I'm gonna go now. I see like y'all with the GD and the Guyana Daily News and the fake accounts, like y'all get fed up with me, but because you don't know how much y'all like block. I gonna publish my block list. My block list is like the who's who of trolls in Guyana. I'm gonna publish my block list. It's like a few pages long. But anytime you come in here with any cussing or the retired Canadian investigator, sis, I don't know. I don't know what happened with the man. The man came, he apparently close to wrapping up. I don't know what one man could do against such a corrupt institution. And that is not the man they sent for. Everybody government provide seem to be corrupt in some way. That's why I'm saying from chief to chef, everybody corrupt and corrupted or corruptible, right? Let the people have their second opinion or third opinion if they want. It's their prerogative. Like I would have said a few videos ago, none of you that trying to deny justice for this girl, none of you ever comforted her when she was going to bed. Y'all never feed her day in your life. You never hold her hand and catch her. You never give her a hug. You never do nothing for her. But now you feel you have the biggest opinion on what should happen to her body and what her parents should do and whether they get too much money from the GoFundMe before you even sit down and do some basic maths to calculate the enormous cost this family will have to bear on their own. Reprehensible. Dig into yourself. For those of you that feel it gone, trust me, there is some love left in there. Tap into it. There is some love left in there. Tap into it. Tap it and use it. Uproot your prejudices. Uproot the petty hate and squabbling in your life and focus. Right? So, guys, stay safe out there and dep on your heights. Stay vigilant, and you need to be communicating. But definitely, I feel very uneasy with how things are going right now. And whenever I have a feeling like this, I feel I'm obliged. I'm at your service, ultimately. Some of you can come and attack me, whatever it might take you 5-10 years to realize, but I'm at your service, right? I love you guys. So stay safe, and just as Vanessa said down there, be vigilant. Play something for you. Well, it's a little late right now, but if you guys want, I might do a little play some sax for you tomorrow. Here's what I got a good idea. If you don't go to Vibes Cartel and you stay home on your own vibes, on the Vibes Cartel day, I can do a little like jazz recital thing and play a few songs for y'all. How about that? There's a good middle ground, right? I don't want to play. It's after midnight. I really do believe that we should be considerate of our neighbors. My neighbor's not too close to me, but I still believe I should be considerate of people, and I wouldn't be singing at the top of my voice and strumming with guitar, playing saxophone at this time, because it would be inconsiderate, So I'll play for you guys, and if it's sure to be on Saturday, I can do a few songs on Saturday. In the meantime, y'all can tell me on this post you got any songs you want me to learn or jam for you guys. Write them in the post. Might even do a cartel song. Yeah. But I ain't going my ass there. Okay? So stay safe, stay vigilant, and I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and each other.